Please help us protect our communities and wear your mask during the event. Now, coming to the stage is family medicine and expert physician, Dr. Victoria Dooley.
Hello, somebodies. So I am Dr. Victoria Dooley. I'm a practicing family medicine physician, and I think you can guess what I'm going to speak on briefly today, right? The importance of getting our COVID vaccines. I've had mine, and I know it's getting a little bit confusing, right? With the Delta variant and the rules, we're gonna mask, we're not gonna mask, these states are gonna mask, these aren't. I know it's getting confusing and overwhelming and we're getting tired. But it's extremely important to be vaccinated if you're not. And to all the cuties who are vaccinated, thank you. So why is it important to get vaccinated even if you're wearing your mask? Well, the same reason why you will wear your seatbelt even if your car has airbags, right? We need that extra protection. And this Delta variant is acting more aggressive than the original variant. And so, yes, you can get breakthrough COVID with the vaccine, but you are extremely less likely to be hospitalized and to die from COVID if you get COVID when you have the vaccine. So when you hear these scary stories in the media about so many people who are vaccinated got COVID, you got to read the article. Because when you read the article, usually you'll hear that the vast majority of the people who were vaccinated didn't get severely ill, didn't get hospitalized, and didn't die. And that's what matters, right? So getting rid of COVID is like a class group project, right? It's gonna take all of us, just like it's gonna take all of us to get the Nina Turner TNT elected, right? It's gonna take all of us to do our part to get rid of these new, more aggressive variants of COVID, and that includes vaccinating. So you know when you're a kid and your teacher says, we're not gonna go out to recess until you clean your desk. And then there's always that one kid who won't clean their desk. Don't be that one kid. We all have to get vaccinated so that the COVID will stop turning into these more aggressive strains. So I want you to turn to your neighbor and I want you to say, hello, somebody. We're gonna canvass for the Nina Turner, and we're gonna encourage our unvaccinated friends to get the COVID vaccine. All right, thank you.
Now, coming to the stage to give us an uplifting blend of folk and soul immersed in love, Zach.
There we go. Drip, drip, fill your cup, fill your heart with love. Lift, lift, lift your head, lift your heart above. Give, give, the gifts you give, ignite the soul, Lord. Just a sip of your sunshine, and I'm in love and dancing all night. Play your flute, and I will wrap my soul on the sky. Lift me up off of my feet. Tell me your secret, sweet. To live is to be free. To be the truth, oh, like a blooming flower to a bee. Makes me ecstatic just to see you're the only place I wanna be. Drip, drip, fill your cup, fill your heart with love. gifts you give ignite the soul. Sing, sing, you got a song, sing, get a wing. Run, run, let your power embrace everyone. Give, give, the gifts you give ignite the soul. Well, I'm all dressed to dance. You got the stars wrapped in your hands. Couldn't be more in love than I am with you. Oh, my friend, you're the moon, I am the tide. You are all the fish inside. I'm a wave crashing inside. Get up, no time is too much. Give it up, gotta reach within and above. Your whisper is enough, I know. All I talk about is love. Give it up, no time is too much. Give it up, reach within and above. Your whisper is enough, I know. Only love, I know. Only love. Jet, jet, fill your cup, fill your heart with love. Lift, lift, lift your head, lift your heart above. Give, give, the gifts you give ignite the soul. Sing, sing, you got a song, sing, give it wing. Run, run, let your smile embrace everyone. Give, give, the gifts you give ignite the soul. Oh, ignite the soul. Hey, hey, yeah. Thank you all so much. Very honored to be here today. Thank you. Minding my own business, trying to get by. Lord knows there's such suffering in so many people's eyes. Oh, I know we gotta love each other. I don't know how to get in hand. Just give me the strength to love. 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 Help me stand up tall when I am called. Ooh. Well, if I'm waiting on someone, I'll wait my whole life long. Oh, I am someone. I can't pretend there ain't nothing wrong. Oh, I know I'm here to be some service. My road is tied to one and all. Give me the strength to love. 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 Help me stand up tall when the conscience calls. When the conscience calls. When the conscience calls. I know we gotta love each other. I know we'll get there if we try. Give me the strength to love. Give me the strength to love. Give me the strength to love. Give me the strength. the strength to love.
We would like to thank these unions for your work during these important elections. The Amalgamated Transit Union, Akron DSA, America's Postal Workers Union, Bakers, Confectionery and Tobacco, Workers Union Local 19, Black Elected Officials of Summit, Blue America, Brand New Congress, Center for Biological Diversity Fund, Cleveland Heights Democratic Club, Cleveland Stonewall Democrats, Congressional Progressive Caucus, PAC, Communications Workers of America, Communication Workers of America District 14, Communication Workers of America Local 4340, Democracy for America, Done Waiting PAC, Friends of Earth and Action, International Association of Black Firefighters, IUE, Justice Democrats, Latinx, Northeastern Ohio PAC, Monarch PAC, Move On, Ohio Education Association, National Association, Ohio State Council of McCunics, Ohio Women's Alliance Action Fund, Our Black Party, Our Revolution Cleveland, Our Revolution, Peace Action, Progressive Democratic of America, Roots Action, SEIU Local 1, SEIU Local 1199, Sierra Club, Sunrise Movement Cleveland, Sunrise Movement CWRU, the Retail, Wholesale, and Department of Store Union, the Vanguards of Cleveland, Working Families Party, and 0 Hour. And now, hear from National Nurses United. Please welcome to the stage National Nurses United member, Martise Chisholm.
Good morning. My name is Martise Chisholm, and I have been a registered nurse for 29 years, currently caring for patients in Chicago. I am a proud board member of the California Nurses Association, National Nurses United, the largest union of registered nurses in the United States. I am the great-granddaughter of a civil rights activist who marched with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and Congressman John Lewis in the historic march on Selma, Alabama for voting rights. 10 months later, despite receiving death threats, my great-grandmother traveled to Jackson, Mississippi with 4 freedom fighters, 1 Jewish college student, to Jackson, Mississippi to a public hearing on poverty and voting rights. On their way back, the Klan ran their car off the road. My 57-year-old great-grandmother and a 78-year-old black teacher were decapitated. When the Paul pallbearers rolled her casket out the church, I touched it with my little hands. I promised I would not cry and I would never give up. They killed the dreamer, but the dream lives in me. The dream lives in you. And the dream lives in Nina Turner. National Nurses United has a slogan: vote nurses' values. Those values are embodied in what we have seen from nurses across the country during this pandemic: caring, compassion, and community. The candidates in the 11 congressional districts that truly embodies the nursing values is Senator Nina Turner. And that is why National Nurses United has proudly endorsed Nina Turner. Nurses vow to protect our patients, but the reality is that we have to protect them from our own healthcare system, which all too often puts profits over patients. That's why, for decades, nurses have been leading the grassroots movement to win Medicare for all. We are so proud and honored that Nina Turner is in this fight with us. Congressman John Lewis said, if you see something that is not right, not fair, and not just, you have a moral obligation to do something about it. Never, ever be afraid to make some noise. Never be afraid to get in good trouble. Union nurses know what it's like to get in good trouble, necessary trouble, and take on the multi-billion healthcare industry. In this election, nurses are standing with Nina Turner. Let's win. Let's get in some good trouble with Nina Turner. Thank you.
Please welcome to the stage Executive Director of Our Revolution, Joseph Kevorkis.
When we organize, when we organize, when we organize, brothers and sisters, that's more than just our motto. It's more than just our rallying cry. It is what we are called to do right now. We are called to organize to win and put Sister Nina Turner in the House on Tuesday. And you know what? The timing of this election couldn't be more auspicious for our movement. In August, in just a few days, we're going to be celebrating the 5th anniversary of our revolution. 5 years ago, in 2016, Bernie, Nina, and the rest of our founding fathers and mothers called us to go forth. They called us to organize and to transform the world as it is, with pain and suffering, into the world as it should be. And brothers and sisters, that is the mission that our people-powered movement has been carrying out faithfully. Over the last 5 years, we've elected over 700 progressive champions to school boards, to city councils, and to the United States Congress. When we organize, the last 5 years, we've passed progressive policies in cities and states to expand housing, to expand health care, to raise wages, and reform our broken criminal justice system. When we organize, say it with me, when we organize. But brothers and sisters, even though we have won, our work is far from done. Look it, Democrats control both houses of Congress and the White House, but still the political elite refuses to deliver on Medicare for all, refuses to deliver on the Green New Deal, refuses to deliver for the striking Fight for 15 workers. Is that okay with you? Is that okay with you? No, it's not. And that's why Nina's election is a must-win moment for our collective movement. By electing Nina Turner, we, the people, can raise up a prophetic voice for justice who will speak truth to a powerful political establishment that thinks that we will settle for crumbs. Nina knows that incrementalism is not enough. Nina knows that we, the people, demand transformational, sweeping change. So, my brothers and sisters, as we celebrate the past 5 years of our revolution, I want you to imagine what we together can accomplish in the next 5 years with Nina in Congress alongside Bernie Sanders. Imagine Medicare for all. Imagine a Green New Deal. Imagine a $15 minimum wage. Brothers and sisters, we have a real shot to build on our movement's momentum and defeat the elites who stand in the way of progress. But that means we got to organize right now. We got to organize today to create the tomorrow that we want. And that means we got to do the hard work of organizing. Martin Luther King said this: the supreme task, our highest calling, is to unite with others, to organize, and to be a transforming force in American political life. That means, brothers and sisters, we have to go forth after this rally. We have to mobilize every single voter on the phones, on the doors, and through text messaging. Are you with me? Brothers and sisters, I know this in my heart of hearts. there are more of us than there are of them. And if we organize, we win. If we organize, if we organize.
Please welcome to the stage Cleveland City Council member of Ward 6, Blaine Griffin.
When we organize, when we organize, when we organize. Hello, somebody. My name is Blaine Griffin. I'm the councilman for the Ward 6 area of the city of Cleveland, but y'all could just call me Griff. How y'all doing today? Man, y'all look so great today. The energy in here is amazing. Give yourself a round of applause. Listen, everybody, history has its eyes on us today. History has its eyes on us today. James Baldwin once said, "To be black and conscious in America is to be in a constant rage." When you're a council person in a city of Cleveland that's dealing with crushing poverty, dealing with high infant mortality rates, dealing with lead exposure, dealing with the scourge of violence, dealing with housing disparities, dealing with educational disparities, you don't have the luxury of walking around talking about who I know and who I'm trying to be friends with. You gotta fight for people every day. You're in a constant rage every day. You wake up angry when you fight for people every day. So I'm fighting for Senator Nina Turner because I want the angry black woman to go down there and represent me in Congress. Hello, somebody. Let me hear you up in the top, too. Everybody needs to go out here and fight like our life is dependent on it today. Listen, everybody. Politics tends to divide us, but purpose tends to unite us. Today is a day for purpose. Put all that hate aside. Nobody care about that no more. Nobody care about those commercials. What's your purpose here today? Is your purpose to get Senator Nina Turner to be the next congressperson for the 11th district? Let me hear you. Hello, somebody. I supported Nina Turner because of her body of work. This is a woman who is prepared to lead, a woman who worked in a mayoral administration, a woman who was a Cleveland City Council person. And let me tell you something. When you're a Cleveland City Council person, don't nobody care what your ideology are. They want to know, is the trash going to get picked up and is the police going to come when I call them? Nina Turner served as director of engagement when she went down to the state senate. And she fought for educational reform. When she fought for educational reform, the graduation rate in the city of Cleveland was approximately 38 to 40%. Now, black males have a 75% graduation rate because policy. Because of purpose and policy. Taking on systems, challenging folks, making us strong in the broke places. That's what Nina Turner stands for. Nina Turner is my friend. Nina Turner has earned the right to represent us because right now, everybody, history has its eyes on us. We need you to get energized. We need to go out here in the fight. Now listen, let me tell y'all something. I'm a Cleveland kid. You gotta be tough when you're in Cleveland. Nobody cares if mean girls and boys say mad, nasty things about you. You better just get tough. Because in Cleveland, you got to be tough. You got to be tenacious. You got to bring it. So, yeah, I want the angry black woman, Nina Turner, to represent me with sharp elbows down there to tell everybody that she's going to speak truth to power. We got too many issues out here. We got too many things we got to fight for. Go get your relatives. Go get your friends. Go out there and talk to people. Make sure they know that it's an election on August the 30th. Make sure they vote for Senator Nina Turner to be our next congressperson for the 11th district. SNT, 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 SNT. As I close, I got to say this to you, and I got to tell y'all this story, and I'm done, and I promise. I would tell you one of my favorite movies is The Hurricane. And they talk about Reuben Hurricane Carter. And he has one of the most powerful things that he says. He talks about to this young fella, and this young fella said, why they hating on you? Why they doing all these things to you? And you so smart, and you so intelligent, and you're doing all these great things. And Reuben Carter said something, if y'all haven't seen the movie, please watch it. He said something so powerful. He said, hate got us in this position, but love is gonna break us out. Nina Turner loves this community. If you love this community, love is going to break out hating in this thing. Love is going to take Nina Turner to be the 11th district congressperson. Love is going to make you get people to the polls. We're going to do this because history has its eyes on us. Thank you, Big Griff, signing out, baby. Let's go.
Joining us now is Akron attorney Lucas Blower.
Hi, I'm Lucas Blower. I'm from Akron, Ohio. Is anybody from Akron here? I support Senator Nina Turner because not only is she going to do the right thing when she's in Congress, she's going to get there the right way, with a people-powered movement that makes her accountable to us, not deep pockets in Washington, D.C. Now, what that means is she's not going to owe them anything, and that scares them to death. That's why they're pouring millions of dollars into this race. They're trying to buy somebody who's going to work for them, but that's not Senator Turner, because she's going to work for us. She's going to go there. She's going to go there, and she's going to have, as she said time and time again, she's going to have the courage to ask for more for us. They tell us, though, that asking for more is too radical. I'll tell you, though, I've been around long enough to see that when they call a progressive a radical, it just means that person was right about the issues too early. 20 years ago, you were radical if you didn't support the Iraq War. You were radical if you supported marriage equality. Only radicals said that the war on drugs was a failure. Today, though, those ideas are all mainstream, and that's great. It took them decades to figure it out. And 20 years from now, they'll all agree with Senator Turner. But here's the problem. The people who are wrong about everything have been in power for so long, we've run out of time. People are struggling now. Children are starving now. The planet is burning now. We are out of time. We need somebody who is right now. And that is Senator Turner. On college debt, she's right now. On the Green New Deal, she's right now. On Medicare for all, she's right now. So we have to do something extraordinary. We have to speed up history. That is hard, but it's possible if we stay united. And that is why we need Senator Turner most of all. It's because we're being asked to do something that's only possible if we do it together. And to do that, you need a uniter. That's who Senator Turner is, and that's why she should be our next Congresswoman. Thank you.
Please welcome to the stage, State Representative Juanita Brent.
Hello, somebody. My name is Juanita Brent. I just happen to be a state representative of Ohio House District 12. I bring you greetings from some of my colleagues who are in Ohio House, Representative House, Representative Phil Robinson, Representative Mike Skindale, and Representative Janine Boyd. Hello, somebody. As you can see, there are a lot of us at the State House that are in support of Senator Nina Turner becoming the next Congresswoman of Congressional District 11. But the most important thing with all of this, I'm gonna tell you my story, how I met her and why I'm supporting her. I met Senator Turner when she was just my councilwoman. She used to have her third Thursday meetings that actually meant the world to me. And I just recently had the opportunity to tell her that when I first moved back to Cleveland after college, she used to have them, and that was like the place to be if you were young and you wanted to be involved in politics, and she had them on a regular. And that meant so much because that gave us an opportunity to have our person in city council to listen to us when it comes to our concerns. The same effort that she made herself available at the Harvard Community Service Center every third Thursday, I know she's gonna do the same thing for us when she goes to Congress. When we look at this race, who's been fighting for Fight for 15? Who's been fighting for Medicare for all? Who's been fighting for environmental justice? Who's been fighting for fair housing? It's been Senator Nina Turner. This is not something she's new to doing. This is not something she just started doing. This fight has been real. So somebody asked me, why are you endorsing Nina Turner? I'm just give you some basic stuff. In this race, we don't just need an ally. We need an advocate. And there's a difference between an ally and an advocate. An ally is just somebody who's gonna go vote. But an advocate is somebody who's gonna go fight. Because in this congressional district, the average income is $32,000. So we have to fight for people to have better wage for living. We have to fight for that. And Senator Turner has been fighting for that all over the United States, and now she's bringing it home because she's fighting for us. We don't need anyone coming to our district who's telling us what we need. We as the people know what we need. We know we need to increase the minimum wage. We know we need better housing. We know what we need. And Senator Turner is gonna fight for us in Congress to go get that. So if you are not here to fight for us, then you don't need to be in our congressional district. You need to leave and go home. We're gonna do real quick, because then I'm gonna be respectful of the time. If this is your first time ever canvassing, raise your hand. Thank you. If you had to wear your t-shirt 2 times for Nina Turner because you had to go out and go canvass, raise your hand. Okay, maybe that's just me. Okay, I got somebody in the back, maybe that's just me. I'm putting my, okay. If you have done some phone banking for Nina Turner, raise your hand. If you've made a donation to Nina Turner, raise your hand. If you believe that Nina Turner needs to be our next Congresswoman for Ohio Congressional District 11, raise your hand. My name is Juanita Brent, State Representative for Ohio House District 12, and I endorse Nina Turner for Congress. Thank you.
Please welcome to the stage State Senator Kenny Bowe.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Senator Kenny Bowe. I'm the Senate Minority Leader for the state of Ohio. And I got to follow the footsteps of Senator Nina Turner. Now, I didn't wear the same footwear she wore, but I'm bringing the same passion, hopefully, that she brought when she was our senator. You know, I want to thank Senator Bernie Sanders, too, for all of his support for Nina. You know how important that is. Now, I wasn't always in government. I wasn't always a state representative or a state senator. I used to be a union organizer. And my office was right across the street at Laborers Local 860, 4220 Prospect. And I organized out of that building. I organized at the park across the street. And I'm organizing throughout the state of Ohio for Nina Turner today. What do we fight for? We fought for better wages, better health care, pensions, non-discrimination, and a safe place to work. We wanted to guarantee that every woman and man who went to work came home to their families at the end of the day. You know, I'm sounding an awful lot like Senator Nina Turner, aren't I? When we talked about the attacks on workers' rights and their families by our elected officials, I knew that I couldn't stand by the sidelines. I knew I had to step up to the game, and I'm still sounding like Senator Nina Turner. So I ran for state representative. Next thing I knew, we were facing a workers' pandemic. I hope all of you can remember Senate Bill 5, because I'll never forget it. Neither will Senator Nina Turner. It attacked our unions, it attacked our workers, and it attacked our families throughout the entire state of Ohio. And on the other side was big money, big ugly money that was threatening our rights, people like the Koch brothers. Guess what? Here I am still sounding like Senator Nina Turner. But fortunately for me, my union sisters and brothers, we had an ally in the Ohio Senate who rose to the occasion with her powerful voice, and together we sent a very strong message. Hell no! And together we took that message all over Ohio and we won. That's what Senator Nina Turner does best. Whether it's civil rights, women's rights, workers' rights, voting rights, the rights of those in the LGBTQ community, you can count on Senator Nina Turner to be in your corner. And we also need to count on her to be in our Congress. By the way, it was my honor to follow her as a state senator. It's truly my honor to give her my endorsement. And it's my honor to thank all of you to be here to support my friend, my sister from another mister, the person we all love. God bless her. Senator Nina Turner, thank you for your support, and God bless you.
Joining us on stage is community activist Selena Pagon.
It is such an honor to be here with you all today. My name is Selena Pagan, y yo soy boricua, para que tú lo sepas. I'm safe up here, and I'm vaccinated, just in case. I was born and raised in the city of Cleveland, and I am a proud daughter of Puerto Rican parents that call this city home. I am so grateful to be with you here today, and I am so excited to send Nina Turner to Congress. We really need someone with a backbone in Congress who's going to fight for all of us. Y somos más y no tenemos miedo. We need Nina Turner in Congress because she will fight for my brothers and sisters on the island of Puerto Rico, across the Caribbean, Latin America, and right here in Northeast Ohio. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. The people united will never be defeated. Y vamos por todo. There's a saying in Spanish that says, dime con quién andas, y te diré quién eres. Tell me who you walk with, and I'll tell you who you are. And Nina, I see you. We see you. To everyone out there doubting the power of your vote, that's what they want us to believe. But we know what's up. We know that the power behind every vote, and we need to start at home. Check in on your circle, check in on your family and friends, and make sure they're registered to vote, know where to vote and when to vote. And know that on August 3rd, we're voting for Nina Turner. In the words of the great Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., we need leaders not in love with money, not in love with justice, not in love with publicity, but in love with humanity. I know that Senator Nina Turner leads with love. And to all the Latinos, Latinas, Latinx people across Northeast Ohio, nuestra comunidad tiene el poder. We are a sleeping giant. And that's why I'm asking the Latinos of Northeast Ohio to go out on Tuesday, August 3rd, and send nuestra querida Nina to Congress. And that's it, people. Pa'lante con Nina.
Please welcome Paranita Singh.
Hi all, my name is Paranita Singh. I'm a resident of Akron, Ohio, and I've been a part of this campaign since the very beginning when they first had their canvas launch back in April. I am also a daughter of immigrant Indian parents. My parents moved to the States with the dream to make sure that my sister and I had a better future, the American dream. And being an immigrant comes with its own set of struggles. We lived in a one-bedroom apartment. We did as much as we could to save money. My parents worked $7 an hour mediocre jobs just so they could provide for us. When it came to college, my parents couldn't afford to pay for us, so my sister and I had to get student loans. We didn't go to doctors or dentists because we were afraid of how much it would cost after. This is a sad reality for a lot of Ohioans to this day, regardless of your immigration status. Status and race divide us from opportunities. Housing and health doesn't help anybody. There is a lack of housing for a lot of people. There's a lack of healthcare for a lot of people. Student loans just come back to haunt all of us. So, a lot of people that are close to me know that because of my immigration status, I cannot vote. However, that doesn't stop me from showing up. I show up with my boots on the ground. I've knocked hundreds of doors. I've talked to hundreds of people. And talking to those people told me that Ohio's 11th congressional district needs a champion. And that champion is Nina Turner. So, I need all of you to go out there. If you live in the district, go out and vote. Make sure you tell your neighbors to vote. And if you don't live in the district, get out. Knock on some doors. Knock until your shoes wear off. Because we need to make sure that Nina gets into Congress. This is not a moment, but a movement. So let's keep this movement going. We do not stop here. There's 3 days until Election Day. Let's keep on going and give Ohio what it needs. Nina Turner.
Ladies and gentlemen, our program is about to begin. Remember to keep during the event. Following the conclusion of the program, we invite you to march to the polls to early vote or join our canvas launch tent in the rear. Thank you for your support of Nina Turner for Congress. Get out and vote rally. Please welcome to the stage Mayor Frank G. Jackson.
Good afternoon. And how are you? Good, good. You know, I first met Nina Turner when I was in council in around mid-90s, and she was the liaison from Mayor White's office to City Council. And those of you who understood what was going on at that time, that wasn't necessarily an easy job, but she handled it. And then later on, I became mayor, and she was a council person in Cleveland City Council, and we worked together on many things to get things done for people. And then she became state senator, and I was mayor, and we were looking to do school reform and police reform. And she worked with me, and when there was a Republican governor, a Republican House, and a Republican Senate, but she got the things done. So just those few examples, that's just a few examples will tell you why her experience and her ability to get something done in adverse circumstances qualifies her to be the best candidate. But what really makes Nina Turner the best candidate is her core. Because in this business, trouble's gonna come. Trouble's gonna come in many different ways, many different forms, and from where you don't expect it to come. And not only that, the power of the system will put enormous pressure on you to make you do what it wants you to do. If you ain't about nothing, if you don't stand for nothing, then you'll cave. Nina Turner is about something, and she stands for something, and that's... She is about, and she stands for you, the people. Thank you very much.
Welcome to the stage, Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison.
Who loves Nina? Woo, boy, is it ever wonderful to see all of you. You guys, it is an exciting moment for America right now because we are on the verge of electing one of the greatest progressives that this country has ever seen. And let me tell you something. I know because I spent 12 years in the United States Congress, and when you send Nina to Congress, just in a few days from now, she is going to change that place. And I just want you to know, I'm so proud of you. Nina is, of course, an awesome person in her own right, but she understands the power of us. She understands the power of us, and she's gonna go there, and she's gonna be there with AOC, and she's gonna be there with Bernie Sanders, and she's gonna be there with all of you, and we're all going there with her, and we are going to change this country because we deserve to be able to go to the doctor. How about some Medicare for all? Anybody for that? We deserve a Green New Deal, let me tell you. We deserve to cancel student debt, absolutely. And we deserve somebody who has the guts and who has the vision, who has the courage to stand up and demand it on our behalf, absolutely. And I also want to tell you that there are things that Nina will have to face in Congress that you and I don't even know about yet. But because she has been consistent in her courage and in her advocacy for us, we know that no matter what she encounters, she's going to do the right thing because she has done the right thing, absolutely. And I'm going to tell you this, it is a very bad idea to say, we just want somebody who's going to do whatever the president says. It's not a good idea, even if you love the president. And I'm not here to criticize the president, but even if you agree with what they're doing, you want somebody who represents the people of the 11th District of Ohio. You don't want somebody who is going to say, yes, sir, boss, to who's in the White House. You want somebody who's going to say, yes, ma'am, yes, sir, yes, us, to the people of the 11th District of Ohio. It is not the job of the member of Congress to be and obedient to the White House. It is the job to obey the needs of the people of this district right here. And I just want to tell you, when you elect Nina, you're going to get something that's really, 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 really awesome. And I'm going to stay with me because I'm going somewhere. She is not just going to win this election and say, well, I'm in, and y'all, I'll be just chilling out here for the next few years. She's going to be campaigning after she wins, and after she wins, and after she wins, so that Ohio, who basically has one statewide Dem, is after Nina gets in, is going to drive up turnout in the 11th, which is going to drive out turnout in the whole state of Ohio, which means that you're going to see a rebirth of progressive Dems taking statewide office in the state of Ohio. I'm telling you, if you will turn out the vote in Cleveland, you will win all over the state, but you can't do it with a minimalist, just do enough to get by, just take orders from the boss above. You can't do it that way. You've got to have somebody who campaigns and reaches out, not only to win an election, but to invite people to the democratic process. And that, my friends, is a 365-day-a-year process. That is every day. That is something where you're campaigning not just to win, you're campaigning because everybody has a right to be listened to have their voice heard. That's what it's really all about. And Nina Turner is a listener. That is one of the most important things about her, y'all. She is a listener and she is a carer. She cares about you. She literally loves you. And I know in campaigns we don't talk about love that much because we're supposed to be all, tough or whatever. But the truth is, I don't trust any politician who does not love the people. And Nina loves you. She cares about you, and she's gonna fight for you. Now, look, I gotta wrap it up right here, but I just wanna say to you, between now and close of the polls on Tuesday, you have the ability to get one more person and then invite them to this democratic process. You have the opportunity. Has anybody in this room, raise your hand if you've ever had the unmitigated pleasure of taking somebody to vote for the very first time? How does it feel? How does it feel? It feels good. It feels good. Maybe that person has just gotten off probation or parole. Maybe that person is a brand new citizen. Maybe that person just turned 18, or maybe they just have never had enough confidence in this system to vote before. But when you bring somebody into this thing, it makes you feel good. And I want all of y'all to feel good, really good. So between now and the end of when polls close on Tuesday, we need everything that you got. I know some of y'all got, well, I got little kids. 5-year-olds know how to work the microwave. I know y'all like, what? No. Let me tell you, 7, 10, and 12-year-olds can look after, actually the 12-year-olds, we need them to help on the campaign. But you bring your kids together and get somebody to look after them all together. What about that? But we need y'all to give everything you got to turn out the vote in the 11th District of Ohio. The very fate of the nation really does depend upon it. I am not pumping it up. It is absolutely true. Elections make a difference. If they did not elect me, I might not have been in a position to lead the prosecution of Derek Chauvin. But because I was elected, I was in a position to do service. I am telling you, electing Nina Turner will bring great benefits to not only this district, but to this whole country. And to that, I say, let's get out there and get every single person we can to vote on or before Tuesday. Bless you all. Let's go get it done.
Welcome to the stage, author, activist, philosopher, and brother of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, Dr. Cornel West.
What a blessing! What an honor to be here for our dear sister Nina Turner! Ohio Congressional 11th District, are you ready to make history? Are you ready to hit the ground and hit the polls and be a force for good to turn this nation around in such a way that we can have a vision for everyday people being empowered? I don't care what color, I don't care what gender, I don't care what sexual orientation. This is about morality. This is about spirituality. This is about integrity. This is about generosity. This is about courage. This is about vision. Who's willing to serve everyday people? Nina Turner. And let us not be deceived. This is a campaign of profound love. And justice is what love looks like in public, just like tenderness is what love feels like in private. And Nina Turner is a great wave in an ocean. She comes from a black people who have been chronically hated for 400 years, but exemplifies levels of love that make her a love warrior. She comes from a black folk who've been terrorized for 400 years, yet she still exemplifies freedom for everybody. Oh, she comes from a people for 400 years that's been traumatized. And yet, she's a wounded healer. Yes, she's a joy spreader. Have you seen the smile on her face and the sparkle in her soul? That's Nina Simone, that's Gerald Levert, that's Aretha Franklin, that's Donny Hathaway, that's James Brown, that's Louis Armstrong, that's Mahalia Jackson, that's Fannie Lou Hamer. That's Ella Baker. That's her mama. That's her grandmama. That's who Nina Turner is. She represents the best of love, of freedom, of wounded healing, of joy spreading. And that is a moral and a spiritual achievement. That's not just about politics. And that's why we can say to some of our brothers and sisters who are part of the corporate wing of the Democratic Party with their milquetoast neoliberalism, we say we want vision, integrity. We want to focus on the least of these, the poor, the working class, everyday people. That's who Nina Turner is. Are you ready, Cleveland? Are you ready, Akron? Let us march. Let us march. Let us march.
Known for playing classical violin to the accompaniment of hip-hop beats, welcome, Humble G the Fiddler. Please welcome to the stage Senator Bernie Sanders.
Whoa. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you all for being here to make certain that the next Congresswoman from the 11th Ohio District is Nina Turner. Now, I'm here in Ohio today for a number of reasons. I would have come because Nina is a close personal friend of mine and somebody I admire. That's a reason to be here. I would be here because Nina is one of the smartest and hardest working people that I know. And that's a good reason to be here. But the real reason I am here, and I speak as chairperson of the Senate Budget Committee, the real reason I'm here is we desperately need her in the U.S. Congress. Now, I know that in my state of Vermont and here in Ohio, there are a lot of people who have lost faith in government. They're working longer hours for low wages. They can't afford child care, can't afford health care, can't afford to send their kids to college, can't get a vacation, paying half of their income for housing if they're lucky enough to find decent housing. And they are saying, hey, does the government in Washington worry about anybody other than the billionaires? And they're looking around and they're seeing the very, very rich getting richer. And some of them now, they don't even have to worry about what goes on Earth. They're off in outer space. But Nina Turner and you and I, we do have to worry about what's going on in Vermont, in Cleveland, and on Earth. We have to worry that children in this country are going hungry. We have to worry that 90 million Americans are uninsured or underinsured. We have to worry that our young people can't afford college or are leaving school deeply in debt. Now, I know that in the midst of all of that cynicism, people say, well, what difference does it make? Who cares if Nina wins or not? Let me tell you what difference it makes. Let me tell you what policy is about. For years, and I and Nina and Keith Ellison and Cornel West and others, we've been all over this country talking to 10,000 people, 20,000 people. And we have demanded and fought for a government that works for all, not just the few. And all over this country, people are beginning to stand up. They say, wait a minute. I'm working for 10, 12 bucks an hour, and billionaires don't pay anything in federal income taxes. That ain't right. I see people sleeping out on the streets and large profitable corporations shut down in America and they're moving abroad. And that ain't right. And so as a result of the work of Nina and Keith and Cornel and you and millions of Americans, we have started asking questions that this country has never asked in a very long time.
And the result of that is we are transforming politics in this country and in Washington, D.C. A few months ago, just as an example, and I want to talk to people who have kind of given up on politics. I want to make the case that they should come out and vote for Nina. Just a few months ago, 5 o'clock in the morning, I think, we voted to pass the American Rescue Plan. Vice President had to come in and cast the deciding vote because we couldn't get one Republican in the Senate to support that legislation. This is what policy is about. As a result of that one bill passed by one vote at 5 o'clock in the morning, tens of millions of American families are receiving and have received checks of $300 per child. Nina Turner, for years, has paid attention to the disgrace of America having the highest rate of childhood poverty of almost any major country on earth. And do you know what that one piece of legislation did? One piece? It lowered childhood poverty in America by 61%. At a time when millions and millions of people lost their jobs through the pandemic, that legislation extended and expanded unemployment benefits. We added a $300 supplement on top of the normal unemployment. At a time when in my community and in Cleveland there were long lines of food, long lines of working people desperately in need of food, we put billions of dollars to make sure that Americans will not go hungry. And I mention that just to show you that policy matters, that the work that you have done, these things didn't happen by accident. We created a climate by which the president did the right thing, and we had a majority of Democrats in control over the House and Senate who were prepared to do the right thing. But that is just the start. I need Nina Turner in Washington to make certain that not only do we pass a strong physical infrastructure bill, but that we pass an even more important human infrastructure bill. Nina Turner will fight alongside of me to make sure that this $300 child tax credit doesn't last for 1 year, but is made permanent. Nina will stand along with me to revolutionize the way we do child care and pre-K in America. We are fighting right now to have universal free pre-K for 3- and 4-year-olds, and to make sure that no working family in America pays more than 7% of their income for child care. How's that? Nina Turner will stand with me and say that in the richest country on earth, we will not be the only major nation not to guarantee paid family and medical leave.
Nina will stand with me in saying that today we have got to expand Medicare to cover dental, hearing aids, and eyeglasses. But Nina knows that expanding Medicare is the right thing, lowering the cost of prescription drugs is the right thing, but that we have got to go further than that and join every other industrial country, guarantee health care to all, do a Medicare for all, single-payer program. Legislation we're working on would make community colleges tuition-free. And you know what that means? Killer Mike and I were talking about this earlier because he's actively involved in this. Gives young people the training they need to go out and get the good jobs. And we got to do that. But Nina Turner and I understand that that's not enough. That we need to make all public colleges and universities tuition-free. And Nina Turner and I understand that in the midst of this massive income and wealth inequality, yeah, we are going to ask the rich to start paying their fair share of taxes. And I'll tell you something else that Nina Turner knows, because she's been all over this country. She's seen it with her own eyes. Despite what our Republican colleagues think, Nina Turner knows not only that climate change is real, but it's an existential threat to our country and the world. And Nina knows that we can create many millions of good-paying jobs as we transform our energy system away from fossil fuel to energy efficiency and sustainable energy. Now, I know that Nina and my good friend Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was here last week. And Alexandria has been fighting hard, and we are going to bring this about with Nina's support for a civilian climate corps. We're going to put billions of dollars into that program, and what that means, and I say this to the young people, it will give the young people of this country the opportunity, getting decent pay, decent educational benefits, to roll their sleeves up and help save this planet. We need you. Now, to me, what is really remarkable about this particular election is the incredible amount of money that the powerful special interests of this country are spending trying to defeat Nina. So I asked the people of Cleveland a very simple question. I want you to think about this. Why is it that the drug companies and the insurance companies and the fossil fuel industry and Wall Street and people who supported Donald Trump are pouring millions of dollars into this campaign to defeat Nina Turner? And the answer is pretty simple. They know that when she is elected, she is going to stand up and take them on in the fight for justice. And Nina Turner also understands, and I suspect she understands it more today than ever before, that we need real campaign finance reform so that billionaires can't buy elections. How disgraceful it is that these big money interests, they don't even have to disclose who they are, pouring in huge sums of money. Let me conclude by just saying this. You're looking at a guy who won his first election as mayor of Burlington, Vermont by 10 votes. After a recount. So I know about close elections. My suspicion is that here in the middle of the summer in Cleveland, the voter turnout is probably going to be fairly low, which means that every single vote counts. We don't want to wake up on Wednesday morning and find out that Nina lost by 20 votes or 50 votes. So I'm here to just urge you that if you want somebody in Washington who throughout her entire life, and I know Nina well, and in the deepest part of her soul, believes in justice, believes in economic justice, racial justice, social justice, environmental justice. If you want somebody who's not going to be just another member of Congress, but somebody who has the guts to speak out on the important issues and fight for working people, I am here today to urge you to elect Nina Turner as your next member of Congress. Thank you all. I have been to dozens and dozens of rallies all over this country with Nina, and it's always the case that she introduces me. And very often that's very difficult. I have to follow her speaking. That ain't easy. So today it is my distinct pleasure, wonderful pleasure, to introduce to you the next member of Congress, Nina Turner.
That's what happens when a 2-year-old runs your life. Hello, somebody. We were trying to wrap that all around him. It's an art, not a science. I definitely want to thank the senator so much, and I hear him crying, yah, back in the background. I want to thank the senator so very much. As he said, we've traveled this entire country, and this feels out of order for me because usually it is the other way around. And what great joy to have the senator introduce me, somebody who I have an immense deal of respect for. And as he said, we traveled all over this country to lift the poor, the working poor, and the barely middle class. And I look forward to going to Congress to serve side by side. To my son, to my husband, to my grandchildren, to my dad who's somewhere out here, to my siblings, to my mother, who is not here. I just want to salute her for a minute. My mother died at the young age of 42 years old with her dreams deferred. Langston Hughes asked in one of his poems titled Mother to Son, what happens to a dream deferred? I want you to know, 11th Congressional District, the great state of Ohio, this nation and this world, that Sister Turner is running in this race to help guarantee that very few people have to ever ask the question, what happens to a dream deferred? So here we are together in solidarity, working for something greater than ourselves. I am grateful to be here with you. Some of you live down the street, round the corner, down the way. And some of you live thousands of miles away from here. In this moment, I am grateful for each and every one of you. To all of the members of the House of Labor, to all of the great organizations and the individuals that represent those organizations, to the volunteers, to people who have given of their time, their talent, and their treasure, I want to thank you for lifting this campaign in this moment. To Sister Martise Chisholm from the National Nurses United. To Dr. Victoria Dooley, who reminded us we must get vaccinated. Hello, somebody. I am grateful for Councilman Blaine Griffin for his words and his energy, and for Cleveland City Council members McCormick, Gray, and Cleveland that have backed our vision to center the poor, the working poor, and the barely middle class in this race. To my state reps, Brent, House, Robinson, Boyd, and Skindell, who have shown up for us in a major way, bringing the fire and reminding their constituents about who really cares for them. I am grateful to all of you. I'm grateful to Senators Yuko, Williams, and Antonio, who make up the entire Democratic senatorial delegation, for standing by my side. To my mayor, Frank G. Jackson, we have worked together on crises after crises to help our community, and I could not be more honored to have his support. I want to thank Attorney General Keith Ellison, America's Attorney General. And to the one and only Dr. Cornel West. To one of my mentors who is in this room today, to the great Senator C.J. Prentice. And let me pause to say thank you to my sister, Congresswoman Cori Bush. Who wanted to be here today, but instead has to sleep outside on the steps of the national Capitol because some folks would rather take a vacation than to handle the people's business. I want to thank her and all the other Congress members and activists who are standing right there sleeping outside to stand up because a moratorium on evictions. People are going to be out on the streets unless we get that moratorium. And thank Congresswoman Cori Bush for leading the way. That is why she is in D.C. And I cannot say, sisters and brothers and family and friends, I know a little bit about sleeping out on the sidewalk because back in 2012, when we had the worst Secretary of State ever, was threatening our rights to vote here in Ohio, I slept out on the steps of the Board of Elections on 30th and Euclid. And thanks to my leader, Senator Eric Kearney, we did that all over the state of Ohio in solidarity. So we stand in solidarity with Congresswoman Cori Bush and all the other activists who understand that we must have the courage to ask for more. And I want to express special appreciation to my friend and the person who helped spark the new politics in America, as a person who showed that what they say is in fact possible. To the very person who sparked the 21st century version of the progressive movement. To the person who on the opposite side of what we usually have done for 2 presidential cycles. Someone who has for millions restored their faith in American democracy. Can we give it up one more time for Senator Bernard Sanders? Now, I want you all to know that this campaign is not about personalities. This is about the people. And we have tried very, very hard. My team and I, can we shout out for Team Turner? We've tried very hard to center the people in this district. Too many of our people work too hard for too little pay. Too many of our people have no health care or inadequate health care. Too many of us have seen our jobs shipped overseas. Too many of us live in communities that are unbanked and underdeveloped and left behind. Too many of us live in fear of gun violence or police violence. Too many of our children need better schools, and too many college graduates have mountains of debt. Addressing these material conditions and the lifting people up so that they don't only not fall behind, but they actually get ahead. This is what this campaign is about. And as Congresswoman Barbara Jordan famously said, what the people want is very simple. They want an America as good as its promise. And this campaign is about delivering on that promise. If you, the voters of the 11th Congressional District, do me the honor and send me to Congress, I will wake up every day fighting to raise wages, including passing a $15 an hour minimum wage increase. And while we're at it, let's ensure that women finally get their whole damn dollar. Hello, somebody. Hello. I will wake up every day fighting to create Medicare for all so that health care is finally a right and not a privilege in the United States of America. I will wake up every day fighting for trade deals that work for the everyday people and not just the corporate elites. Hello, somebody. I will wake up every day fighting for investments of communities that have been left behind, whether they are black or white or Hispanic or Native American or Asian American or the swirls in between. No matter how people identify, I will wake up every morning fighting for you. Our LGBTQIA community, all of us, every single marginalized community waking up every day to make sure that nobody gets left behind, and we are creating an America as good as its promise. And this agenda, this people-centered agenda, has some people very afraid. You have all seen the dishonest ads backed by millions from every big money special interest group in Washington, from big oil to big banks to big drug companies. And the question becomes what the senator asked when he was up here: why are they spending all of that money on little old me? I just want to know. Inquiring minds want to know. We just want to know. And I'm so glad you asked. They like the way things are now. They like it that so few people have so much and so many people have so little. They like a healthcare system that lets them pick our pockets or our pocketbooks and people can't get healthcare. They profit from a system of tax cuts for the rich. They do not want an America as good as its promise, and they are investing millions to ensure that our voices are silenced. Well, let me tell you something, 11th Congressional District. We gonna make sure that they understand that big money can't defeat big ideas and conscious-minded people. We gonna show them better than we can tell them. And what we are working towards is creating an America where every person can live in security and dignity. We have that America. We need to make sure that we have an America as good as its promise. That's it and that's all. And it's really not asking too much, sisters and brothers. We are the wealthiest country on the face of the earth. And so why can't we have Medicare for all? Why can't we have a Green New Deal? Why can't we cancel student debt? Why can't we have a legal system that does not see black men as somehow more criminal than anybody else? Why can't we have a legal system that treats black and brown and indigenous and poor and white people? Because if we are poor, baby, we are all in the same boat. Hello, somebody. This is about class and caste. And make no mistake, the big moneyed interests, the big powered interests, the corporate interests, they benefit from trying to keep us separated. But there is a song that says, ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide enough to keep the workaday people from each other. We will unite to create an America as good as its promise. So this, I'm trying to close this thing up. Man. You know, when I think about my two grandbabies that came out on this stage and my son, I do think about creating America as good as its promise. And I'm not just doing that for mine. I want yours and 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 yours. We can't leave anybody out. All of us together. That's why I'm fighting. I want to close with a quote from the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And I want you guys to listen to this with your heart and not with your head. This is what this progressive movement, this freedom fighting movement is all about, because we are 21st century freedom fighters. See, there were fighters before us in the 20th century, in the 19th century, in the 18th century, in the 17th century. This is not new. There's always been people who were willing and courageous enough to go against the status quo. The status quo doesn't work, and we got to change it. So I want you to listen to this with me. He said these words: power without love is reckless and abusive. And love without power is sentimental and anemic. Power at its best is love implementing the demands of justice. And justice at its best is power correcting everything that stands against love. I am running this race for love. I am fighting because of love. I want everybody to be able to live out their greatest greatness for love. So I am asking you, if you are a voter in this district, elect me to be the next congresswoman of this district. God bless you all. For love. Come on, Senator. I love you all.
And finally, welcome to the stage, brother of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, Bishop Tony Minor, for a closing prayer.
Come on, everybody, it's movement time. Say it's movement time. Say, I'm fired up. I'm fired up. It's movement time. I'm so glad to be here. I support Nina Turner. Nina Turner. She's strong, she's courageous, she's not owned by anybody, she's not owned by big money, dark money, corporations, super PACs, and surely not Republican donors. Somebody say, movement time. Movement time. You know, I'm here because it was Dante who said that the hottest places in hell are reserved for those who remain neutral during a time of moral and social crisis. And I come by to tell you, I'm not going to hell, and I'm not silent. Come on, it's movement time. Allow us to pray. Allow us to pray. We pray to the God of justice. For you, he's the God of peace. For you, he's that spiritual energy that creates creation and inspires all of us. We pray, but we pray for her strength and her health. We pray for her mind. Dear God, put a hedge around her to protect her. Give her strength to make it over the next 3 days. We know, oh Lord, that you have called her for such a time as this. We know, Lord, that she is the one that can carry us into the promised land. We pray for her, oh Lord, that when she gets weary, may she remember when she said, I must go to Washington. Despite the opposition, despite those would fight against her and work against her, she said, I must go to Washington. Oh Lord, may she remember that it was Jesus when he was going to Jerusalem. There were them that said, why go to Jerusalem? There are them that want to kill you. They want to hurt you. They want to harm you. But Jesus said, I must go to Jerusalem. May she remember Martin Luther King when he said, I must go to Memphis. There were those who said that they will kill you and it's not the right time and there are other things you need to fight for. But he said, I must go to Memphis. May she remember that she's going to Memphis for those that can't go for themselves. Oh God, may she remember, oh Lord, that she's going for them that are without power, without strength, that she is a voice of social change. Oh God, we know that you don't necessarily endorse candidates, but we know you endorse principles. We know you endorse principles. And we know you endorse compassion and you endorse care and concern. You endorse them that will stand up for the least of these. Oh God, we pray that you know that she is the people's candidate. We know, Lord, that we pray that we know that she's standing up, Lord, for Ray Ray and for Bobby Joe. She's standing up, oh Lord, for the poor and the homeless, the marginalized. We need her, oh Lord, because she's standing up for those that are without health care. She's standing up for those who are without justice in the courts. She's standing up for those that are black and brown, sisters and brothers who are at the border, those who are tired and weary, who are poor and longing to be free. She's standing up for them that are in need of health care, them that are weary, oh Lord, for going against the powers that be. But she's standing up for them that are being tracked down and facing deportation. She's standing up for that brother who has his hands up saying, my hands up and don't shoot. She's standing up for the climate. She's standing up for our schools. She's standing up for public housing, Lord. She's standing up for the people. And Lord, we come to say that we are with her. And Lord, where you encourage us to not just talk the talk, where you encourage us, Lord, to walk the walk, be with us as we go forward. Be with us as we continue to fight, as we go forward to stand up for them that cannot stand for themselves. May we go in strength. May we go in peace. May we go in solidarity. May we go get Nina to Washington.